The Young and the Restless spoilers, Thursday, December 31st. We think it's a fun way for us to dig deeper into our already established favorites and find out what makes up for it. Their newer items are more interesting. We're all willing to share some of the more spoiled features. It looks like the city of Genoa will see some of the character building in this episode important to any show, and that's what they do so well. It can be a double-edged sword for how bad a storyline can turn out to be. But we already know what Sally Spectra did, so this would be a memory chip. Faith Newman has been bullied, harassed, and manipulated for a few months now, and it looks like it's going to end soon. In fact, it could get worse as Faith's friends continue to chase her. According to fans online, one of the top culprits of this case is Jordan. It also made her the only one mentioned, but was pretty clear on how Jordan got around. Whatever happens, it looks like Faith will have some necessary redundancy, and Mariah Copeland will step into the challenge. Mariah is one of the few people Faith seems to trust and really likes to be with because she and Mariah seem to connect on a different level. And now Mariah is going to be big sis with someone, and we are expecting her to hope to get a pound of meat for Faith. The question Sally will ask is who, and it could be Lauren Fenmore, Summer Newman, or Jack Abbott. We think it will depend on whether she's trying to usurp, manipulate, or stick with them. While her shares could be equal confessions and needs the protection of witnesses, we think she will continue to forge a relationship with Jack. Although very smart as he is the head of the Abbott family's grocery chain, she also tries to establish a relationship with him that has not yet grown elsewhere. How much she shares will make this a must-have, but CBS spoilers The Young and the Restless think that whatever she shares Jack will understand to some degree. Sally would speak to someone, and it could be Lauren Fenmore, Summer Newman, or Jack Abbott. We think that will depend on whether she's trying to misappropriate, manipulate, or interact with. While her shares could be equal confessions and need the protection of witnesses, we think she will continue to forge a relationship with Jack. Although very smart, as he is the head of the Abbott family's grocery chain, she also tries to establish a relationship with him that has not yet grown elsewhere. Teased that Ray Rosales would visit with Chance Chancellor at Chancellor's mansion, Ray will help Chance expedite the lawsuit against Alyssa Montalva. Ray will note that he feels sorry for Alyssa, as she's not the first person Adam Newman pushed to the breaking point. At Crimson Lights, Mariah Copeland talks to Faith Newman as Faith's friend. Jordan walks in and hands Faith a cool shoulder. Faith would apologize to Jordan for not stealing the vodka from the guild, but Jordan wouldn't actually accept the apology. When Mariah tried to get along and mentioned partying with Tessa Porter, Jordan explained that today's youth are a lot different from what Mariah was younger. Jordan then leaves and says she's going to school, and Faith will defame Mariah for having a party. Mariah would remark that Faith certainly didn't care what Jordan thought. At Sharon Newman's house, Nick Newman is coming to tell Sharon how great she loves Ray and what the wedding will be like tomorrow. Nick will say he will always be in Sharon's corner, and he will mention just how brave Sharon has been this year. Sharon and Nick will also talk about Faith, and Sharon will say that Faith wants to stay in Genoa City rather than going back to boarding school in January. Sharon and Nick would love that, as it meant they could keep an eye on Faith, especially because her grandmother was an alcoholic. Right then, Faith entered, followed by Ray. Ray and Sharon went out for a walk, while Faith snuck into the living room and poured vodka from the bar. Faith then texted Jordan, "I hope I see you tomorrow. I have a surprise for you." Faith will be back in her room. Ray and Sharon will be back, all happy about their wedding tomorrow. How much she shares will make it a must-see, but CBS's spoilers, The Young and the Restless, assume that whatever she shares Jack will understand to some extent.
Adam and Chelsea returned home from a visit to Connor and recalled pampering him on vacation before the conversation turned to her upcoming surgery. She reassured herself that it would be okay, but clearly worried. Adam reminded her that the doctors did the procedure multiple times and reflected everything was out of control after the memory of what happened to him as a boy. He reiterated that no one else in this town meant anything to him. At Grand Phoenix, Phyllis gave Nick her first check and began to make it clear that Victoria was trying to steal a hotel under her command. When she warned what might happen if they ended up in a room together, Victoria entered. Nick was wary as Phyllis opened her eyes wide. Seriously, confidential. Nick was impressed as Phyllis vowed to let her go. At the Crimson Lights, Sharon and Ray reviewed their wedding roster. Nearby, Tessa tells them how happy she is to be a part of it. After a few jokes back and forth, Ray and Sharon let Tessa and Mariah spend some time together. Tessa confesses that she hasn't written a song for the wedding yet. Mariah has an idea to remind her how great it is to find the person you have for her and how true love changes everything. Nick joins his sister to confront her about meeting a colleague there. Vicky wants to move on, but he doesn't know how to forgive her. They settle disputes. Victoria refused to make up with Phyllis just because she and Nick continued their relationship. Devon was relieved when Amanda appeared in her place. She did not answer his call. She admits she hasn't been able to eat or sleep since they arrived at Naya's house. Amanda revealed more of the story than he knew. The family has a history of politics, so they play with suits. Pai learns that Naya abandoned her twins, and continues to meet and marry her current husband, with whom she has a daughter, Amani, and currently lives a life of luxury and exclusivity. As they continued to talk, Devon warned against drawing conclusions too soon, but Amanda was furious for being left out for the sake of saving someone's political career. She doesn't need to listen to Naya's excuses. Devon understood her wall-building instincts, but she deserved to know why Naya did what she did. He thought Hillary would want to know the full truth and not run away from it. Amanda was touched, but did not foresee happiness forever. She admits she feels bitter about Amani, who is innocent. Devon forced her to see through this. At the society, Billy wished Lily a nice flight home over the phone. He missed her. After disconnecting, he meets Adam. They argued verbally about the shooting and which of them pushed Alyssa to the brink. Billy warns that even in the best horror movies, the monster can only trick to death many times. They argued over Billy being framed until Adam was ready to step outside, only to see Sharon. Sharon and Adam discussed her signing the bond. He tells her she doesn't have to worry about him now, especially with her wedding coming up. Adam is happy for her and says he and Chelsea are leaving town to start over. Ray stepped in and watched their close exchange as Adam thanked her for her dedication despite it all. It makes a lot of sense. Ray approached, asked if Sharon was okay, and Adam thanked him for arresting Alyssa. After Adam left, Sharon turned to her fiancé and talked about becoming Mrs. Ray Rosales. Kevin was standing on the cafe veranda leaving Michael a voicemail as Phyllis passed by. She heard him say the latest Gloria situation involved Victoria and Newman Enterprises and walked around to join him. After she admired the baby's pictures, they became teammates in the past and Phyllis complained about Victoria trying to take her down. They are satisfied that they are unable to win the respect of some. Phyllis reminded him that they could always trust each other and put Gloria in the conversation. Kevin confided that she had encountered something bad. Inside the Crimson Lights, Chelsea admitted to Chloe that she was scared of surgery. She mentions that Adam feels guilty and Chloe is puzzled. She thinks this started with the fall in the elevator. Chelsea won't confirm him in a role and talk about leaving town. She is sorry to leave Chloe, but is very happy to get rid of Newman's and Sharon. Chloe is once again pressuring her on a fashion line and Chelsea vows they will find a way to make it work. Chloe joins Kevin and Phyllis on the field. Phyllis complimented the new mother and said to Kevin, "Let's do this again soon." Inside the cafe, Sharon faced Chelsea, who congratulated her and Ray on their upcoming wedding. Sharon knows she has a pending medical procedure. In their room, Nick noticed that Phyllis was in a better mood. She feels his tension and knows how to release it. Alone in the room, Amanda calls Naya. She answers. Amanda was unable to speak and disconnected. After Victoria's meeting at the hotel, Nick told her the whole attitude she was going on, dirty acts and condescension that reminded him of their father. He felt something had changed and wondered if Billy was a better influence on her than he had ever thought. At least when they were together, she hadn't let work turn herself into the worst version of Victor Newman. Mariah and Tessa entered the Crimson Lights courtyard after a romantic stroll, which Tessa thought inspired her. She needs to get rid of her flames and harp and get out. Sharon shows up and Mariah asks how her work is going. Sharon shrugged. They are fine. The countdown wedding has officially begun. Chelsea saw Adam staring out the window at home. She knew that he happened to meet Billy, Sharon and Ray at the society. Chelsea asked about his exchange with Sharon and said she would swear to Ray on New Year's Eve while she was trying to get some sleep ahead of her major surgery. Adam once again assured her that she would be fine.